Our communication began through Facebook. A few days earlier, one of my friends asked me, "I'll give you the name of a Facebook account. Could you please search for it using your laptop? I can't find it on my mobile phone." I heard she has recently been admitted to medical college, and I want to talk to her about it. I immediately searched for the profile and found it. My friend sent her a message in his own way. While I was there, I noticed several other Facebook profiles. One particular profile caught my attention, so I sent a friend request as well. A few days later, she sent me a message. Without any hesitation, I replied. The interesting part is that our relationship began as that of a brother and a sister. Although we never discussed our personal likes and dislikes, I gradually discovered that she possessed almost every quality I admired. For example, I loved blue saris, and blue was one of her favorite colors. I admired long hair, and she had beautiful long hair. I liked eyes lined with kajal, and she wore kajal regularly. Offering the 5 daily prayers was one of the most important parts of her life. She enjoyed helping people in need whenever she could. She loved cooking and was very good at it. Wearing anklets was one of her favorite hobbies, and studying was her greatest passion. She spoke with such sweetness that I found myself eagerly waiting just to hear her voice again. Quite often, she would politely excuse herself by saying she had to leave to perform her prayers. However, she never asked me why I had missed my prayers. Gradually, I also started developing feelings for her. But there was always one barrier between us. She always addressed me as Bhaiya, elder brother. Whenever she called me that, I kept wondering how I could ever tell her what was truly in my heart. After all, it was my first experience of falling in love. One night, while lying in bed, I suddenly thought to myself, if she can make so much effort to pray regularly, why can't I do the same? That night I couldn't sleep at all. As soon as the call for the Fajr prayer was heard, I got ready immediately and went to the mosque to offer my prayer. Later that morning, I opened my mobile phone shop after saying Bismillah. Soon after, my mother called and told me that they were looking for a bride for me. I immediately replied, "No. I'm not going to get married now." Then I ended the call. A little later, I received a message from her. We asked each other how we were doing. Both of us replied, "I'm not doing well." Yet neither of us asked why the other was feeling sad. I had always believed that marriage should come before romance. So instead of proposing love to her, I directly proposed marriage. She smiled and said, "Since I was born as a woman, one day I will have to get married." I asked her, "Will you marry me?" She replied, "I don't know. Only Allah knows. If Allah has written you in my destiny, then you will become my husband." Most of the time, she gently avoided giving me a direct answer. From that day onward, she would often ask me whether I had offered my prayers. I could never lie to her, and I never wanted to. She trusted me deeply. Because of that trust, I stopped neglecting my prayers. Even if I ever missed one because of work, I would make it up later. Long before meeting her, I had always prayed to Allah after every prayer. "O Allah, since you have made marriage a sacred obligation, please bless me with a righteous wife whose face reminds me to become a better person and draws me closer to you." Whenever I felt that something was beyond my reach, I would wake up during the last part of the night and offer tahajjud prayers, asking Allah for His help. Allah never disappointed me. Even though she repeatedly avoided giving me a final answer about marriage, I continued praying tahajjud and sincerely asking Allah to make her my life partner. Within just 2 days, everything changed. The same girl who had always said, "My parents will decide," now told me, "Having a husband like you would truly be a matter of good fortune." From that day onward, we continued talking whenever we found free time.
3 months later, I told her that I wanted to meet her in person. She gave me the address of her village. I bought my train ticket the day before, and early the next morning I set out on my journey. Since there was very little traffic, I reached my destination much earlier than expected. When I arrived, I saw someone standing there wearing a beautiful black abaya, black gloves, black socks, and a black hijab, holding 2 fresh roses in her hands. I knew immediately that she was waiting for me. As I walked closer, I greeted her by saying, "Assalamu alaikum." She returned my greeting and then greeted me once again with a warm smile. I replied to her greeting. We sat together and talked for nearly 2 hours. We spoke about many things that we had never been able to express through messages. Then she took a wristwatch out of her bag. She smiled and said, "This is for you." With her own hands, she gently fastened the watch around my wrist. I cannot describe how happy I felt at that moment. A little later, she opened another bag and brought out the food she had cooked herself. There was delicious buna khichdi, beef curry, and fried hilsa fish. The wonderful aroma instantly made my mouth water. She smiled and said, "You don't have to get your hands dirty today. I'll feed you myself." I smiled and replied, "No, that wouldn't be fair. If you feed me, then I'll feed you too." At first, she felt shy and hesitated. But I wasn't ready to give up so easily. After I insisted several times, she finally removed the face covering from her veil. That was the very first time I had ever seen her face. She had always told me, "I'm very dark," but when I finally saw her, I realized how beautiful she truly was. Because of the warm weather, her cheeks had turned naturally rosy. Her soft pink lips, the kajal around her eyes, and her gentle smile made her look even more beautiful than I had ever imagined. To me, she was more beautiful than words could describe. Then we fed each other with our own hands. After spending some more time together, we started walking. After walking for a while, a street vendor approached us and asked, "Brother, would you like some peanuts?" I bought peanuts for **15 taka. She carefully peeled every peanut before handing it to me, and we continued talking while walking side by side. Soon I looked at my watch. It was already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was time to return home. Although my heart didn't want to leave her, I knew that we both had to go back. Before leaving, I gave her a special gift. At first, she refused to accept it. I smiled and said, "Please don't open it now. Open it when you get home and you're alone." She finally accepted it. Inside the package were a beautifully designed black abaya, matching black gloves, black socks, a blue sari, a bottle of surma, 2 hair clips, a prayer mat, a biography of *Hazrat Fatima, Raw, **, and some chocolates for her younger sister. When she reached home, she didn't forget to send me a message. She told me that she loved every single gift. Reading her message filled my heart with happiness. From then on, we continued talking through text messages once again. Before we realized it, another 4 months had passed. Meanwhile, discussions about my marriage had started again in my family. When I shared the situation with her, she understood everything. Together, we explained our relationship to both of our families. At first, neither family accepted our decision. But eventually, with time and understanding, they finally gave us their blessing.
2 months later, her final examinations were approaching. I told her, "No. We won't get married now. We'll get married only after your examinations are over." Although both of our families wanted us to complete the marriage contract earlier, I respectfully refused. I wanted her to finish her education first. After her examinations were over, we finally got married. Our wedding was not filled with extravagant decorations or luxury. Instead, we chose to marry according to Islamic principles and traditions. On that very day, I made a promise to myself that no matter what happened in life, I would do everything I could to keep the woman I loved happy. After our marriage, I encouraged her to prepare for the University of Dhaka admission examination. Whenever she had an exam, I personally accompanied her to the examination center. While she was taking the exam, I waited patiently outside with a glass of fresh lemon juice in my hand. When she came out smiling and said, "Alhamdulillah, the exam went well," my heart filled with happiness. She never knowingly did anything that would hurt my feelings. 1 year and 6 months later, Allah blessed our home with a beautiful baby girl. I named her Jannat. Day by day, our little daughter began to grow. When she turned 4 years old, she started admiring her mother's hijab and wanted to wear one herself. Because of that, we admitted her to a madrasa, and I took her there every day. Our days passed peacefully and happily. Every year on our wedding anniversary, instead of arranging a grand celebration, we chose to feed 10 orphan children and 10 poor people. That tradition became one of the happiest parts of our lives. Every year on that special day, I never forgot to give my wife a beautiful sari, 2 bottles of shampoo, and fresh flowers. However, something always touched my heart. Although she happily accepted every gift I gave her, she never wore the new sari on our anniversary. Instead, she always chose to wear the same blue sari that I had given her the very first time we met. Whenever she came in front of me wearing that blue sari, all of our old memories came rushing back as if they had happened only yesterday. Years passed beneath the same roof. Slowly, strands of grey appeared in both of our hair. Our youthful memories gradually turned into precious memories of a lifetime spent together. Now, after every prayer, I ask Allah for only one thing. I pray that my beloved wife will never have to leave this world before me. Because the woman without whose head resting on my chest I could never fall asleep, I don't think I would have the strength, in the final chapter of my life, to carry her on my shoulders to her grave. Even today, after all these years, I still feel like teasing her with the very same words that have lived in my heart for so long. I love you deeply.